Hi everyone, I'm Emily behind emilycgardner.com, and I haven't been doing my regular Twitter cheer posts, and so I wanted to just pop in here and share with you guys what I'm reading right now. So first up, I just finished Insurgent last night, and uh, it was good. I read Divergent and was super hooked, was thinking maybe I would like this series better than The Hunger Games. Then I started reading Insurgent and I wasn't quite as taken by it, but within the last like 20 pages of Insurgent, I was like, oh my goodness, I will have to read the next one. So as far as dystopian literature goes, it's pretty good, though now after reading this one, I'm not quite sure I like it better than The Hunger Games. So reading one more book and I'll let you guys know what I think after that. So the next book that I am reading, or I finished reading, is something that you would probably be a little bit embarrassed to have on your coffee table. And you'll know why when I show you the title. I got it free from the publisher, and I was intrigued because I work with youth, and I know this is a topic that we don't really like to talk about, but I wanted to stay informed. So it's called Pulling Back the Shades, Erotica, Intimacy, and the Longings of a Woman's Heart. And um, I think that it's worth reading and really valuable because as Christian women, I think we shy away from those topics and we're ashamed about it. And um, I, it's the book is in response to 50 Shades of Grey, which I did not read. And this book is written by two women, Dana Gresh, who I'm familiar with from her books on modesty, and then Dr. Julie Slattery. Um, and the book is structured where it's kind of like a conversation between the two of them. One of them read the series and one of them did not, so it's kind of an interesting perspective. And I just love its honesty about this topic. And uh, even if you don't struggle with this, being familiar with these struggles, and so if you come in contact with women who do struggle, you have kind of a touch point and just things to say or a resource to give them is really awesome. And if you're kind of interested in this topic, another book that I loved, highly recommend, was Permission to Speak Freely by Anne Jackson. So good. A little bit less in your face than this one. So the next one, I believe I mentioned this one before, but it's called Mommy Time. Let's see if you can see that. Mommy Time, there you go. I don't really like the title. It kind of makes it seem kind of weirdly, I don't know, cheapy or lame, but it's great. It's by Sarah Arthur, and they're little tiny, maybe like 1 to 2 page devotionals. There's 90 of them. And what I love about this book is the genre. I guess they're like devotional memoirs because they have a verse at the beginning, and then Sarah just kind of talks about her own experience, and she's writing this as a first-time mom. And as a first-time mom myself, I just love her perspective. She's really funny, and sometimes I don't have time in the morning to do in-depth in the word studies, and so this just gives me a good boost to start my day on the right foot. The next book I actually wrote a longer review of yesterday on the blog that you should go and read. I'll link to it down below this video. But it's also a book that I think pretty much everybody should read, not because it's profound, but because it promotes conversation about tough topics. It is called Can I Ask That? 8 Hard Questions About God and Faith. It's a sticky faith curriculum, so it's really like a small group study, I guess you could say. And Tim and I are actually doing this with our high school students this summer during Sunday school, and it's just phenomenal. Like, I read it in 2 days and obviously didn't do all of the discussion questions because I was just previewing it, but I just feel like everybody should read this book because it addresses these tough questions, homosexuality, women in ministry, the character and nature of God. And one thing that I think is important for spiritual formation is asking questions and really digging in. And even if, I grew up in the church and for a long time, I wasn't able to articulate the convictions that I had. And so, I mentioned in the review, like, there were certain things in college that I was just like, I don't like this. This makes me feel uncomfortable. And it was through those questions and talking about those things that really made me be able to explain why I had those beliefs. And then if somebody asked me in person, I wouldn't just be that like kind of person. I could explain it and start that dialogue. And so I just really value what this book promotes. And on a completely kind of other note, I just think it has a really cool design. It's like just set up really intriguing and engaging. So I really love it. And it would be great for a family to do together around the dinner table, or any small group. It's just really awesome. So I started this next book, Rhinestone Jesus by Kristen Welch, maybe like in January, and then I had to put it away because I had to work on some other projects. And I'm not a fast reader, so especially with James, I just haven't been able to read as fast as I would like. But I read about half of it so far, and I'm really excited to pick it up again. I was not familiar with Kristen before this book. She is the author behind the blog We Are That Family, and I love reading spiritual memoirs just because I think it confirms the idea that we all have our own story, and God just rejoices in those different stories, and we can all learn from each other. And so I've really appreciated her perspective thus far. It's not always my perspective, but that's the beauty of it. So I'm really excited about picking this up again. And so that's all I've been reading. I'm going to be starting, since I finished Insurgent, I'm going to be starting Rhinestone Jesus again. And on the more kid note, James is at this really fun stage where he's grabbing books and really starting to engage with them. And so I just wanted to share a couple of the books that he's been liking thus far. This is one of my favorites from when I was a kid. I loved bunnies, and I still do love bunnies, so I have this huge collection of bunny books, so I pull them out every time James wants to read. And this is one of my favorites. It's called Too Many Hopkins by Tommy DeViola. And it's just the cutest. It has, it's good like counting, because they have 15 kids, because they're rabbits. And it's just really adorable illustrations. And so I love it. The other book that James really likes right now, that he's like grabbing and kind of wanting to turn pages, is called Llama, Nighty Night. And it's part of a great series by Anna Dewdney. And it's really quick. I usually read it to him before he goes to bed, and he doesn't really understand the nighttime thing, but it's just super cute, and we can kind of whisper and get him a little bit calmed down before bed. So those are two that James is enjoying. So I would love to know what you guys are reading, especially your thoughts on the Divergent series if you have read that. And just comment below. I will link to these books so you can get more information if you're interested. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.